Hey guys, today I have the Letshuoer Cadenza 4 with me. This is the budget version of the flagship IM, the Cadenza 12. This is a review unit from Letshuoer, but all the thoughts and opinions you're about to hear are my own. So let's get started. So build comfort and accessories. The overall packaging of the Cadenza 4 is exactly same as the S15. I'll show a picture so that you get an idea. The IM is a 3D printed plastic which has the same texture as the fantastic case below over here. So as you can see, it's the same 3D printed plastic. Yeah, and it has that metal aluminum faceplate. It has two types of tips. One is vocal and one is balance tips. For my testing, I have used the balance tips. The cable is modular and is really supple, and it's much more better than the S15 cable in my opinion. The cable also has very minor microphonics. The IM is built very well, and the outer faceplate, as I showed, is made out of aluminum. The fit is fantastic. I mean, this is literally the best fit of an IM I have had. For me, it seems like a custom mold, personally. I can wear them for 8 to 10 hours and won't find any discomfort. When I wear the IM, there is an immediate reduction of surrounding noise, and the passive noise isolation is really good. The Cadenza has one dynamic driver, 3 BA drivers, with one of them being a Sonian BA driver and the other two being a Knowles balanced armature driver. They have 3 acoustic tubes with a 4-way crossover. I have not noticed any driver flex over here, and there is a very minor BA timbre. Now, sound impressions. The overall sound impression of the Cadenza is that it is very neutral with a subtle bass boost. While this might seem like a Harman tuning at first, but the treble is much more well controlled than Harman. The overall tuning sounds really clean, and it doesn't cater to either a bass head or a treble head. Honestly, it's refreshing seeing a tuning like this in a sea of Harman or a V or a U-shaped IMs. I'll be using my usual devices for testing the Cadenza 4. They're very easy to drive, but they do scale well with power, so some of the testing is done by the 4.4mm and some powerful dongle DACs. In my opinion, they sound quite good at low volumes too, but the IM shines when playing at medium to medium high volumes. All my testing is done at variety of volumes to get a proper idea. I have used all the stock accessories for testing, so there was no third-party accessories used for this. The bass. The bass here is sub-bass focused rather than mid-bass focused, which is good for me personally. If you're someone who likes mid-bass over sub-bass, you might be a bit disappointed. But that doesn't mean that the mid-bass quality is bad. The overall bass quantity is very apt, that it is not too much or not too less. But what I did find is that some bass-heavy songs like Crack Crack Crackle by Classy does lack that final crispness of the bass. A tad bit more bass could have sounded even better. The bit of lack of bass is also apparent when listening to instrumentals like Cassiopeia and YMO. When listening to the 1985 live album from Cassiopeia, the instruments sounded good, but the overall impact of them felt a bit flabby. But when a bit of a bass is added, like let's say by using the X-Bass mode of my Hi-Fi Go Blue, instruments get this body, they become tactile, and they sound really good. Using the X-Bass mode in my Hi-Fi Go Blue also gives me that final crispness of the bass which I found lacking for some songs. While majority of the audience who likes a clean sound will be pleased with the sound of the Cadenza 4, I think adding a tad bit more bass to the bass region with the likes of Hi-Fi Go Blue using an X-Bass mode really makes the overall bass shine and also gives the instruments a bit of a body and an edge. Now mids. The mid-range is really good. The male vocal sounds crisp and they come across very well in the mix. Sometimes in some songs, deep, thick male vocals like that of Bill Withers or Chris Cornell sound a tad bit sterile, and their thick, luscious nature doesn't really come across that well. Again, adding a tad bit of that bass helps a lot over here too. Then again, this is a nitpick here for the price and tuning it is following, but I still thought of mentioning it. Female vocals come here exceptionally well. They are really good and come across perfectly. They aren't too shouty, but neither are they laid back. Songs like OP from Tearmun Teikaku Monogatari, which is Happy and Princess by Sumire Uesaka, comes perfectly. Her voice is neither too shrilly or not too laid back. I really recommend this if you want something for female vocals, which also has good male vocals. Treble. The overall treble is really well done. The treble doesn't sound shrilly or PSC at all and is perfectly in sync with the upper mids. There is a slight roll-off on upper treble, which might be a bit of an issue for some songs. This is not a treble head IM, but it does a very good job in balancing the good treble details while not sounding too piercy. People who are sensitive to treble will like this. Although some who loves even darker treble might have some issues over here and might find it a tinge shrilly at higher volumes. Technicalities. The overall technicalities is really good. It's not the cleanest out there, but as I said before, it does everything nicely and does a great balancing act. Soundstage and imaging. It is really fantastic. The soundstage is probably the best in its price range. And when listening to songs like Galactic Funk by Cassiopeia, the 1985 live version, it is even more apparent. The claps at the distance and the placement of the instruments is so well done. The imaging is also very well done. The left to right transition and the vice versa comes across really well. Gaming test. Here they do a really good job. The footsteps are heard really well while also having a good idea around the surrounding too. But when there is too much happening and if we play it at higher volume, it will sound a bit too shrilly. So do keep that in mind if you are using it for gaming. Comparison and recommendation. Versus the 7Hz timeless AE, I prefer the Cadenza 4 in some cases as it does a good job in most genres. But if I want a fun sounding V-shaped IEM, then the timeless AE will be my only choice. Versus the EA1000. The EA1000 is a Harman done well. It's a fantastic IEM, but the EA1000 is quite a bit bright sounding when compared to the Cadenza 4. If you are a treble head, EA1000 it is. If you are not and want a more all-rounder IEM, then the Cadenza 4 makes a better choice. Versus the S15. The S15 is more of a relaxing IEM, while the Cadenza 4 is more of an all-rounder IEM. The Cadenza 4 has better treble response than the S15, but the S15 is almost $100 more than the Cadenza 4. So it really depends on what you want. I really like the Cadenza 4, especially for the price, both MSRP and also the early bird, obviously. I think so the Cadenza 4 is an almost perfect neutral sounding IEM for the price. While it won't fit the bill for the bass heads or treble heads out there, it does a very good job balancing the act. You could say this is jack of all trade and masters of none. I personally prefer the Cadenza 4 with the i5 Go Blue and using the X-Bass mode. The tad bit better bass response and giving the instruments a bit of a body, which I get by doing this, is so well worth it. It's really nice seeing an IEM like this in a sea of Harman tune or a V-tune IEMs. I think so the Cadenza 4 is an excellent option for anyone wanting an all-rounder IEM. If you do get it, I highly suggest adding a tad bit more bass, or if you have an i5 Go Blue, suggest using the X-Bass mode to improve the overall sound, the bass and the instruments a tad bit more. Unlike the S15, the Cadenza 4 is priced fantastically. A default recommendation for me around the $200 price point as of now. So yeah, that's my review of Cadenza 4. I hope you liked it. 94% of the people watching this video aren't subscribed, so I would really appreciate if you could like my video and subscribe to my channel. That really helps me out a lot, and you stay updated on all the latest reviews which I'll be trying to bring to you. It's completely free of charge and really helps me out a lot. So yeah, thanks for stopping by and have a great day ahead. Bye.